Hello, my name is Peter Phelps of Phelps 3D, and in this FreeCAD 0.16 tutorial I'm going to discuss how to modify a STL file that you downloaded or received some way. Now, before I say too much into this, I should talk about intellectual property rights and making sure you're respecting the license that people put on their designs when they post them to places like Thingiverse and Pinshape. In order to do this, you want to make sure that when you download one of those files, that derivatives are allowed, that the modifications of their design is allowed based on that license. If they have said no derivatives, if they say it's non-commercial, etc., don't modify their file, don't modify their intellectual property. Make sure that it's something that derivatives are allowed to be done before you start modifying it and posting it and claiming it's yours, etc. Make sure that if you also make sure you attribute when people ask for that too. Even if you modify it, make sure that you try to reference the original file if they've asked for attribution on their license. So that's a very important thing. It's becoming more important. There was a company on eBay that was stealing people's designs, 3D printing them and selling them for exorbitant prices, and that got a whole lot of people up in arms about their intellectual property rights, how to protect their own designs, and that people should respect those licenses, because those are legal binding type items, and when you start breaking that, people will start getting lawyers or quit sharing their free files with people because they're tired of people taking advantage of their work. Okay, so enough of that soapbox. Let's get on to this. I opened the tie tip. I kept that open for right now. It's an STL file. So you can't modify the STL file directly in FreeCAD. You have to convert it. Because FreeCAD is a solid modeling program, you want to convert, and an STL, all an STL is a whole bunch of little triangle mesh. It's a shell. So you have to go click on the mesh, be in part workbench, you go part, and you want to say create shape from mesh, tolerance, doesn't really matter, the default's pretty good. Now this may take a while, and I've had issues with this sometimes. Not that it doesn't work, it tends to work, but if your mesh is a very complex object, it may take an hour or more. Say you're trying to convert a phone case. Because of its complexity and the number of triangles, it's possible that it takes a very long time. Now for this, because it was simple enough, it didn't take as long. That's why I used it as an example. Now I'm going to just hide the original mesh. I'm trying to. Okay, yes, it's hidden. So this is now the shape. Now so I'm going to create a cylinder. just gonna move the shape to the cylinder. So I know that cylinder's at the origin. How close am I? Okay. Try to get this. There. Okay. Now I'm going to move the cylinder off somewhere. I'm going to make an array out of that. Actually, I should make it, I want to make it wider. I'm going to go to draft. Array. Core. 6. Oh, something happened there. Either I did an array of an array. Okay, you don't want an array of an array unless potentially that's what your intention was. Back up. There. Now the question is whether or not this shape is going to cut away. You may find that the shape that I made wasn't a solid. Let's go back to part. I'm going to click the tip shape and then control, click the array, cut. But yeah, you can't just cut the STL. So this worked. Okay. And then that part, and take that part and you can export it. Now, sometimes this doesn't work as well as you would expect. I had a guy in my place I go, the Sacramento Public Library, the arcade library design spot. He had a STL file of a car part he had designed, but then he wanted to modify that. And it was a very sort of like round, bent part. And while I was able to make the cut, when I exported out the STL file, it changed the smoothness of the rounded part to a very, I would say, more angled features. It wasn't nice and smooth. It became very rough, very, so that didn't work for his application. I told him he probably should try someone that works with SolidWorks or something else that's better, because I did my best. I don't know why it changed the rest of the mesh, because it converted fine, it looked fine even in the program, but once I outputted the STL file, it was like it had been decimated. Like the triangles were fewer than were there originally. So that's sometimes one of the problems you might run into if you're using this methodology to convert an STL into a solid that can be modified. And like always, check. I always check. So that's where I found out that there was the file had gone hinky on that guy's part as I checked it here in NetFab, and it looked all sorts of weird. So always, oops. Now that's not a good thing. Sometimes this can happen. It can decide that everything on the outside is now inside, etc. This is reversed. So what you might have to do is go part, invert part, place with inverted part, yes. Then go into repair, and I'm not sure if the automatic repair will work. It may flip everything back over. Default repair. Now, okay, now if you see what it did, I think it just filled all the holes. So you don't want that. Control Z. Yes. Control Z. Control Z. And it won't fix it. So, oh wait a minute. Now we've got two parts. Now move that one. I'm just going to remove both of them. And then bring it back. We'll invert it again. Part. Invert. Yes. And instead of doing the manual repair, we're going to come in here. I'm going to use the select surfaces. I'll click close. And it's closing it again. This is one of the frustrating parts about NetFab, especially when it decides the holes are bad. It's just when you hit this type of situation with NetFab, the best thing to end up doing is going ahead and trying to use the online version of it that's hosted by Microsoft. That may or may not fix it the way it should. Instead of filling the holes, it hopefully won't do that. But let's see. I'll look at it from top. Now the hard part is you could try to do it triangle by triangle. If you click that and you zoom in, zoom in very far. Okay, well, you can see and try to sit here, and I'm holding control on clicking these. And then you can go over here and go flip. And you want to basically keep doing that until you get rid of all the red. That's why I like to zoom into the triangle. I don't know why the triangles are going. They shouldn't be going. They shouldn't be going all the way across two of the holes. Yeah, they shouldn't do this. That is not good. And this is why 3D printing is work. This is when you like want to tear out your hair type of work. So it shouldn't do this. This will create an error. I don't know why it did that. And that is one weird looking triangle. Sometimes if that doesn't work, this one. That doesn't even look like a triangle. I have once spent an hour clicking and changing little triangles on a design in NetFab. So there are times you'll flip some triangles on one surface and triangles somewhere else get flipped. That's no fun. See what I mean? Oh. Yeah, this may be a case where you want to try to upload it to the online NetFab by Microsoft and hope they don't fill those holes. That happens. So, well, I'm sorry this one didn't work out as well as I hoped. You kind of get the idea with the how to try to modify based on STL mesh. This is the part of 3D print design that can drive a person nuts. But eventually this might be printable. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.